If you've been curious as to why you can never manifest anything in your life, why you feel as if you just have no energy all the time, or if you're just sort of impotent in everything that you're trying to create, I'm about to give you the secret. And this really comes down to me as a fat loss coach. I help people to lose weight and to restore their energy levels, but I noticed a weird thing that anytime I had somebody eat this diet, the high energy diet, they started to create new things in their life. They became more motivated. They started to get random synchronicities. They started to have any type of creation that they want to actually be manifest. And this is very curious to me because I, at the same time, experience this as well. So today I'm going to give you the actual understanding of what happens in the physiology of manifestation so that you can actually apply this into your life and become more potent with anything that you want to manifest or create. First off, I want to go over why you are impotent, why you can't get things going, and why it's just not really a good time for you. And that's going to be the state to where you are unlucky. When you're unlucky, this is a low energy state, okay? You're going to be unmagnetic, you're going to be catabolic, you're going to be fatigued, you're going to be unmotivated. And overall, what happens is that you just feel bad. But really, why do you feel bad, right? We have our hormones that interplay. This is the physiology of the body. We have thyroid, testosterone, serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, all the things that create feeling. And if you think about anybody who tells you to change your life, any guru, any type of manifestation, or any self-development material, they will tell you that feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret. And with poor nutrition, you end up feeling bad because you have no hormones or neurotransmitters actually giving you the right material to create from. Back when I was a 300-pound guy, I wanted all these crazy things to happen in my life. I wanted that vacation. I wanted this girl. I wanted to just get a good body. However, I had no actual energy due to this field of energy around you to actually create or get anything that I really wanted. And what happens is when these are low, you have an increase in the stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Those stress hormones end up taking away to where you're actually draining energy. That field of energy around you is what creates everything. That's what ties into every potential within the field of all possibilities is going to be the field that you create. But in this state, you are unmotivated, you're unmagnetic, and you are catabolic, and that field is diminished. You become small, you become less than. But what happens whenever you start to eat the right food and the high energy diet? We move into the high energy state. This is where you become lucky. And instead of draining energy, you start to generate it. And what happens in this high energy state? You become magnetic, you become anabolic, you become awake, you become motivated. Overall, you start to feel great. But why do you start to feel great? We start to upregulate hormones such as thyroid, testosterone, serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin. We literally have the elevated emotions, everything that you want to create, such as love, motivation, joy, confidence. And thyroid is the freaking master regulator of energy within the body. It is your true metabolic rate. It's the thing that generates energy. And when you start to generate energy, you start to expend it. You start to connect more to everything that's outside of you, beyond your actual physical body. You become more of it. You become spaceless. You become timeless. You become infinite. That's a state to where you become lucky. And that happens because good nutrition generates the energy. And again, this state is all about feeling. And when people start to eat this high energy diet, they become high energy and they start to feel the emotions of their manifestations. That's the secret. Feeling is the secret. Now, I want you to understand this because that's what happens within your body. When you have poor nutrition and you don't have the right diet, you are impotent. You can't create anything. You can't get it up. But when you're in this high energy state, you become anabolic, you become awake, and you start to realize that anything's possible for me in my life. Now, to be in this high energy state then, you must have a high energy diet. And I have created this diet for ultimately fat loss, muscle gain, and energy levels, but it goes just beyond that. If you can name a better diet than this that I'm about to tell you, bring it to me and change my belief. But I'm going to tell you that this is the diet for people who want to create anything in their life. Because it pulls from spirituality, of the Eastern yogis who brought us certain things. We have bioenergetics, the actual understanding of how energy in the body creates and actually generates. And then we go into the actual modern advanced medicine of the most up-to-date foods today on what is optimal for our health. First, I'm going to give you all this. So the high energy diet is composed of 80% high energy foods and 20% low energy foods. This keeps you from becoming neurotic about your health because perfection is going to be a shame-based emotion that we really don't want. So 80% of your diet is going to be high energy foods. We start off with all fruits. And Paramahansa Yogananda, a yogi from the East who brought a lot of spirituality into the West, states that fruit is the most spiritually conducive fruit to success and overall spiritual growth. That's why we have all fruits, and because they are charged with life force energy, they are charged with prana, they're charged with chi, there's no reason you should ever restrict fruit. Beyond that, fruits help to upregulate thyroid hormone production, They help you create all the building blocks here in order for you to start feeling better. Fruit should never be restricted to any diet that is actually common sense. We move next into grass-fed red meat. And this really comes down to the bioenergetic model of nutrition, that if we give ourselves adequate micronutrients, zinc, if we get enough saturated fats, we start to charge our mitochondria, which is the actual cell of energy within the body. We start to increase testosterone. We give ourselves the building blocks for serotonin and dopamine. That's why red meat is so powerful. There's no reason to restrict it, and saturated fats are actually going to be beneficial for you when it comes to restoring energy within the body. Raw, grass-fed, and organic dairy. I'm talking this from raw milk, from yogurt, from skyr yogurt. All these things have certain interactions within the gut where you start to create all of these building blocks of hormones. So specifically, if you ate a yogurt with L. reuteri, a lactobacillus species, we end up having a stimulation of the oxytocin within the body. That stimulation is love. And if you start to have more love in your life, anything that you are wanting to create from this field of matter, the thing that is closer to pure love, is how you manifest faster. So we want to be in that state of love, and we can do that with great dairy. There's no reason to restrict it. And again, health resides in the gut. We start to balance that out. We start to become magnetic, and we become charged with life. Next, we move into root vegetables. And again, root vegetables, again, very micronutrient dense. They're going to give us a lot of different fibers, soluble fibers, prebiotic fibers, for us to actually have good gut health. There's no reason to restrict those either. Pasture-raised eggs, and I say pasture-raised because certain farm eggs anymore are pretty weak. Those chickens, they really have nothing going through them. They don't have a lot of good energy. If you think about like a chicken in a farm of, this whole entire round, they're not really going to be in a happy state and be stress-free. They're pretty stressed out, which is going to make you stressed out with the whole shifting of energy from animal to you. Pasture raised, get it from a farm. Find a local person, for $5 a dozen. I buy 4 dozen eggs a week, and that's why I'm so freaking juiced up all the time, all right? So listen to me. Wild-caught seafood, we want to avoid any of the farm-raised stuff. And again, it's that sort of shift, right? That if we take the actual fish that's in that stress state, they're carrying those certain frequencies that come into your food, and they start to give that into you. That's why if people start to cut out a lot of this stuff, they immediately start to go high energy because they no longer have that drain and that carry forth of frequency. Then we move into dark leafy greens and organs. And this helps to backfill micronutrients. Some people won't eat organs, so that's why I tell you to eat your greens and eat certain vegetables, non-starchy vegetables like asparagus, spinach, and etc. Organs, again, organs are the most super nutrient-rich things that we can eat in our diet. So we have ourselves beef, liver, kidney, and heart. Finally, is going to be coffee and dark chocolate. And these things, I don't know what they do, but they increase synchronicity in your life. And I'm telling you, this becomes that oxytocin production, overall the increase in the metabolic rate. You become higher energy, which allows you to create something that's going to be unknown because you start to become happy in life. You become joyful. There's a reason why the oldest man in the world still drinks coffee every day. Like, I don't know why people tell you not to drink coffee. Don't restrict coffee. It's dark chocolate's on the same thing. It's going to help to stimulate the oxytocin production, which again is the hormone of love. Now we get into low energy foods, and I tell you to restrict these as much as possible. And the reason that we get into this is that they have been stripped of any true energy to give in your body for you to manifest, right? Beyond that, they make you fat, they make you low testosterone, low libido. They just don't make you feel too good. Cakes, cookies, pastries, granola, protein, candy bars, processed meats. All these things have been created in a factory. They've been created by people who probably aren't charged energetically in machines that have nothing to charge them from. Next, we go into most nuts, seed oils, and seeds. And I say this, they're typically like a healthy food. They do have a lot of benefits, but in this case of this model nutrition, we want to watch out for the PUFA content. So polyunsaturated fatty acids. What happens is that those fatty acids, when they are too high, they end up impairing mitochondrial function and also inhibit thyroid production. Those two things that we want to be supercharged in order to live a high energy life must be in order. Whole grains. Again, really, gluten in America is dangerous. I think whole grains gluten's in a whole, it's going to be pretty difficult for most people, but specifically in America, our whole grain system is not very beneficial for most people. Anybody that I've worked with, just cutting out whole grains does a number of wonders for their gut health and their energy levels and also their skin and how they feel. So if you're in Europe or a different country, these could be something that you could have a little bit more of, but as far as this high energy diet goes, let's restrict all the whole grains. Fast food, self-explanatory. That stuff is going to make you weak. You're going to become fatigued and unmotivated. The more that you have fast food, beyond just the nutrient density, but the way that it's created has a direct carryover into your life. Refined flour and sugar, and then anything with 47 ingredients. anything that has just been round around with a ton of ingredients is not going to come in and actually assimilate in your body and give you the true energy behind everything, which is going to be ultimately the life force. It's going to be the thing that actually generates beyond just the nutritional state. That's the stuff that allows you to actually survive. Like there's people who can live on breath alone, right? So there's something more than just food, but this is that state to get to the high energy state because we're not that good yet. So we need to give ourselves all the tools we need. So give yourself 3 days. I'm not shitting you. 3 days to try this diet out, and you'll notice that you'll have some type of new event. You'll have some type of synchronicity. You'll have some type of manifestation happen. And that's gonna happen due to two different things. One, we're gonna increase luck. And luck is when preparation meets opportunity. There's an opportunity out there that's gonna find its way to you because you now have this field that is sending out signals for it to come back to you. Second, beyond just the opportunity coming to you, you now, with the upregulation of hormones, are actually going to feel good to go out and be motivated and to get work done and to take action towards your goals. So now you are preparing and the opportunity is coming right to you just like this. And at that state, you're going to create anything that you want in your life. So this is how manifestation happens in the body. And again, it comes down to the feeling is the secret. I have this high energy diet model down below, and it's in the description. This is what I give all to my clients for fat loss, energy level improvements, and overall muscle gain. But it goes just beyond that. This model actually charges your whole entire life. So if you have any questions, you can download that for free down below. And if you are somebody who actually wants to install this stuff in your life, and specifically fat loss or just feel better, you can book a one-on-one coaching call consultation with me, and we can see if that you're a good fit for my program. Again, I want you to install this. You have everything that you need here to create your life and to go forth and get it done. If you found this video valuable, share it with somebody. Tell them that, hey, this is the thing that you want to do. Like if you want to become motivated, you start to eat better food, you end up becoming a very potent manifester and a potent creator in everything that you desire. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll make sure to give a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.